Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to another video. Josh here, and we're gonna do something pretty cool today. So I think my second favorite F word in the English language is probably the word free. And we're gonna take a look at something totally free today from a company I hadn't heard of until I started doing some research for another video and then stumbled across it. That's how it usually goes. And I wanted to share it with you. So the company is called Aurora DSP, and the product that they've released for free is called Goblyn. How you doing, buddy? So as you can see here, old Goblyn, with a Y mind you, is probably not where we're going to be going to get our clean ambient tones and the chillaxin stuff. I think you got multitasking capabilities here. Not only can you rock out and make some great metal music, but you probably wake up the neighbors, scare your parents, whatever you need, man. You got it. He's ready to go. So let's take a look and listen to this awesome plugin from Aurora DSP and see what it's all about. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to go check it out for yourself after watching this. So let's take a look. So in the Fruity Loops studio here, we have Goblyn loaded in, and we have made 0 adjustments to anything. It's just right out of the box. So let's hear what free gets you nowadays. Yeah, baby, I'll take that for free all day. Obviously, we are in the 5153 world here with that low-end response and that crunch and clarity. I mean, it sounds fantastic right out of the box, and we haven't even done anything with it yet. It's definitely a boosted 5153, and I read that they were maybe modeling in something like an Earthquaker Devices Plumes pedal, but it doesn't matter, man. It sounds good. I don't care what they modeled in there, because the point of this plugin isn't to analyze it to death. This is a plugin you turn on, you play loud, and you don't apologize for it. So that's pretty dang cool. Let's take a quick look at some of the features that it has here, and then we'll talk some more about the sounds. So as you can see, this plugin might not look like your modern amp sims that are coming out these days that are really sleek and ergonomic and spacey and all that. I mean, no dissing on any of those, but I like that this one doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's kind of like, hey, I'm the Goblin, what's up? We're gonna play, we're gonna rock. So it almost looks more like a pedal, honestly, than like an amp sim plugin that you'd be used to, but it's easy to navigate. So let's take a look. So you have your controls up here on the top right. You have the high, low, and mid, so there's your EQ, and then you have this air control, and honestly, what I think of when I see this is like a presence control, so take a listen to this. So you can use that like a presence control if you want and shape the dynamic of your tone without messing with the IR. It's a cool touch. I'm glad they put it in here. I think that's pretty cool. Then down here you have an output control, which acts like your master volume if you want, and then you have an IR slider down here, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But before we move on, I want to talk about this control right in the center, and that is the Goblyn himself or herself, the Goblyn itself. And you may miss this if you're not familiar with the plugin. I know I did it first. So if you click on the Goblyn and then go up or down, you'll notice that we're getting some changes over here. This is the drive control, so it's kind of like a gain control on the amplifier. So all the way down here at 0, we have this. Right? Pretty crunchy, pretty rocky, you know, maybe you can play some old school stuff on that, or if you want to just get a cool, you know, I like that. And it sounds like a low gain 5153 would, where there's still a lot of beef, but maybe not as in your face. As we continue to move that up, you know, about midway or so, now we're in this territory. Yeah, see this? I really enjoy that, you know, kind of half gain sound, if you will, on the 5153s to get those really cool rock tones. Like, that is where I live, in the 5153 land. So this sounds really awesome. And then of course, if we go all the way up, we're just getting crazy out of control. But hey, it's the Goblin, man. We're gonna go there, right? So As you can see, I couldn't quite help but just have some fun with that, man, because it is so much gain. It's way more than I would ever use, but it sounds really good. It's not so over the top that it's blowing the walls down and it just sounds like garbage. It sounds good. It's just very saturated, obviously, and you could go all kinds of places with that. So I'm gonna dial it back down to where I kind of like this, and then we'll talk about this IR slider. So you have two IRs that have been included with this plugin, and let me just say here, I think it's really awesome that a free plugin like this includes IRs. It's totally standalone. You don't have to have an external IR loader to load the speaker impulses. It's all right here. So like, points for the Goblin, even more points. And you have two to choose from here. You have nasty and rude. Very eloquent, very graceful. You know, it's the Goblin, baby. That's what we're doing. So let's check out the nasty IR. Sounds really good. It's really modern, it's bright, it's punchy, kind of more in your face, if you will, and I do dig that. Let's check out the rude setting and see what kind of character we get out of that. All right, so definitely a little more punched, or not punched, excuse me, a little more scooped and a little more granular. This is definitely something I would be using for, like, you know, the death metal type stuff. Yeah, definitely a little more granular. I think that's the best word that I have for that, and I would use that to blend with something a little brighter. But the cool thing is, in this plugin, you can totally do that. So as I move this slider around, you'll notice we're getting the different blend of those IRs, which is cool, and I think the sweet spot for me would be right about here on it. And I think that's where I would probably have my IRs. And then for EQ, for a good rhythm tone, I'd probably bump the highs just a little bit, the lows just a little bit, and then the mids, you know, give that just a little bit of a push, maybe not so much. The reason is I'm treating these EQ settings like active EQs, where your 0 point is right in the center and you make your boosts and cuts from there, because it usually has a pretty dramatic impact on the tone. So let's see, with these really minimal settings, what kind of sound we're gonna get out of it. Ooh, yeah, baby, that sounds good to me. So again, did I mention this is a free, absolutely free plugin that you could download and get these kinds of tones with nothing else? I think it's great. So in essence, that is the Goblin plugin. It allows you to do this very quickly and get what you're after without too many bells, whistles, knobs, or parameters to think about. All you gotta think about is getting down and having some fun. So let's say though that you want to use some external IRs for this, or you wanna try something different than the two that are included. No problem. So check this out. You can turn the IR off in the plugin, and I'm gonna warn you, this is gonna sound really terrible. So if you turn the IR off, ooh, doesn't sound too good, and that's what an amp sounds like without speakers. So now you can appreciate how much, you know, speakers do for us and how important they are. But if you turn off the IR, and then let's say you use an external IR loader like this one from Audio Assault, the Air IR rack or impulse rack. Boy, that was a terrible pitch there. It's their impulse rack, available on their website, and it's really awesome. We'll try a couple different ones here from the Mendel guitar pack, or the Mendel IR pack, and see what we think here. So here's my favorite cab. That's it right there, baby. It sounds awesome. We'll try cab 6 real quick, a little darker tone. Yeah. And then we have the Mendel Cab 12 we'll try. Mendel, I love you. These IRs are my favorite. We have a video on them if you want to go check them out and see what they're like in a mix and all that good stuff, but they're awesome. So you can do that, and then it's always good to go back and just see where we came from, right? So we'll turn off the external IR loader, we'll go back to the Goblyn, and now we're back in Goblin world. Dude, I'm telling y'all, this is a free plugin, it's a no-brainer, and I think y'all ought to go get it right now. I think this is a great plugin for anyone who's maybe new to the plugin world and doesn't want to have to sit there and learn all the different intricacies of some of these, you know, more involved plugins out there, and you just want to turn it on and go for it, make minimal adjustments, and be totally rocking with a really solid 5153 emulation, boosted of course, and it's totally standalone and easy, I was gonna say easy on the eyes, I don't know about that, but it looks, you know, it's just fun, man. It's just fun, and that's how the plugins should be, right? So another thing this would be great for is if you're on the go, you know, it's a pretty easy plugin to put on your laptop or whatever, and you're gonna go jam with somebody, or even if you wanna just load it up and jam in your own place, boom, just double click it, there it is. How you doing? Howdy doody, let's rock and roll. So it's one of those plugins that I really enjoy because it's simple in its function, it does what it's supposed to, and it sounds really, really awesome. All right, everyone, hope you enjoyed our little presentation of the Goblin plugin here today. Again, totally free from Aurora DSP. How generous is that, man? And it sounds good. So go get it. What are you waiting for? Now I don't have a pick. I can't play anymore. Maybe that's a good thing. All right, y'all. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks for hanging out with me today.